Okay, chapter 9, number 25. We have a ball that's bouncing off a wall at 45 degrees. The ball is 0.06 kilograms and it's going at 25 meters per second, and then hits the wall at 45 degrees, bounces off also at 45 degrees. Question is, what's the impulse? Well, the formula for impulse is the change in momentum. So we need to find the change in momentum. So, first of all, let's look at this in terms of x's and y's. If we look at the x, first it's going to the right, and then it goes to the left. So there's a change. There's a change in direction, so that's going to be a change in velocity. If we look at the y here is 25 cosine theta, cosine 45 degrees. If we look over here, the y is 25 cosine 45 degrees. It hasn't changed. This is the velocity, by the way. If this is 25 meters per second, this is 25 meters per second. So, since it changed, there's no change in momentum y direction, only in the x direction. So we have to look at the x values. This will be 25 sine theta. This will be negative 25 sine theta. Okay. So mv1 equals p1. We know the mass, the initial velocity. The initial velocity in the x direction, I'm just going to call it in the x direction. This is the x direction, because that's all that matters. It turns out it's 17.7766953 meters per second. So that's this. I got that doing 25 times sine times 45 degrees. Okay. So velocity 2 is the same thing, just it's a direct. Negative 17.67766953 meters per second. So intuition. Well, okay. So we've velocity 1, we multiply by the mass. That gives us 1.0606612 kilogram meters per second. If we with the other direction, we get the same thing, only negative. Yes, I know. Right. Okay. Leo wants to climb on my lap, so we'll take a moment of break. Okay. Now, let's see if I can do this with a cat on my lap. 660,172 kilogram meters per second. Okay. So, intuitively you might think, well, 1 minus the other, that's, you get 0. Okay. But we're not adding them, we're subtracting them. So what you really get is P2 minus P1. That's what delta P is. And that becomes negative 2.12132.034 kilogram meters per second. The impulse is for negative 2.1 kilogram meters per second.